When Evan pressed play on that rusty recorder, I thought it was just creepy static. Then it predicted my scream before I actually screamed. That's when I realized we weren't listening to the tape. The tape was listening to us. I keep telling myself it should have been just another harmless Friday night. For years, the four of us, me, Clara, Miles, and Evan, met at Evan's old family house. Same routine, dim lamp, cheap coffee, cushions on the floor, and ghost stories none of us really believed. But the storm that night felt different. The power had already flickered twice by the time we settled into the living room. Rain hammered the windows like handfuls of gravel. As always, we kicked our shoes off near the door. The floors got slick in weather like that. That's when Evan arrived last, soaked from the rain and carrying something under his arm. At first, I thought it was an old radio, but when he placed it on the table, the heavy thud made the wooden surface tremble. It wasn't a normal tape player. It was the kind of heavy, institutional cassette recorder used in psychiatric interviews in the 1980s. Rectangular metal body, oversized mechanical buttons, a steel handle, and a cracked plastic window over the cassette compartment. The type of equipment that looked like it belonged in a therapy room or interrogation office. It could run on a wall power cord or large backup batteries in the underside compartment. A cracked label dangled off the side. Property of Hillview Psychiatric Wing. Do not play after midnight. Evan set it down like he'd brought treasure. Forget ghost stories, he said. I brought something real. Miles leaned in. Evan held up a cassette. No label, just a small white sticker, Session 47. I don't think you should play that, I said. He shrugged, slid it in, and pressed play. It was 12:03 a.m. Static poured out first. Low, whispery, then a woman's trembling breath. Is anyone listening? We froze. The voice sharpened. If you hear this, you're too late. The lamp flickered. Clara shifted uneasily. Then the voice whispered, Evan, don't move. Evan stiffened. Did it just say your name? Clara whispered. It's just a coincidence, Evan insisted, forcing a thin, shaky smile. But hearing his name in that distorted static clearly rattled him. He leaned forward quickly, more out of instinctive fear than belief, and pressed stop. The button jammed. The tape kept spinning. Just unplug it, Clara said. Evan grabbed the power cord and yanked it from the wall, but the tape didn't stop. The reels kept spinning, faster. Miles stammered, Okay, check the batteries. Maybe it switched to backup. Evan flipped the recorder over. The battery slots were empty. Just dust. This thing shouldn't be running, he whispered, but the tape hissed louder. The voice returned. Clara, don't open the door. Clara blinked. What door? 3 slow knocks thundered on the hallway door. Knock, knock, knock. Miles approached the window. The tape whispered, Do not look outside, Miles. He froze, but he looked anyway and screamed. A handprint smeared across the fogged glass. Then another and another, like something outside was pressing its palms against the window. My voice broke. Evan, turn it off. But the recorder only grew louder. Then, a new voice emerged from the static. Not the woman, not human. Deeper, rougher, something that shouldn't have been able to speak at all. You invited me when you pressed play. The lights went out. Darkness swallowed the room. Evan lit a candle. In its dim glow, we saw a tall silhouette behind the curtain, unmoving, head tilted, listening. Miles whispered, Please tell me that's one of you. None of us moved. Evan blinked. The silhouette vanished. We ran to the front door. Clara unlocked it. Miles grabbed the handle. It didn't budge. Behind us, the recorder clicked on again. Footsteps, slow, dragging, circling us. I screamed, and suddenly froze. Because the recorder played my scream before it even left my mouth. A warped preview of something I hadn't finished doing. The hair on my arms stood up. The tape wasn't replaying anything. It was predicting us. Our shadows jittered in the candlelight, but one didn't belong to any of us. Taller. Still. The tape screeched violently, rewinding like metal twisting. Then, "Is anyone listening?" But now it was my voice. I stepped back. "That's me." Static erupted, our voices layered together, whispering, laughing, gasping, some from earlier, some from moments that hadn't happened yet. Underneath them was a fifth voice, deep, guttural, hungry. "You're all recorded now." We didn't know how long passed. When the storm calmed, the tape had stopped, though none of us saw it happen. Miles opened the cassette compartment. The reel was still spinning, but empty, no tape, just the smell of burned plastic. "That's impossible," Clara whispered. Evan didn't respond. He was staring at something carved into the underside of the recorder. Clara held the candle closer. Session 48, field recording. My chest tightened. It said 47 before. Evan swallowed. "Because we're the next one." Then I noticed the faint red blink. Record. Miles slammed the stop button, shook the recorder, tried prying it open, but the red light didn't flicker. Evan stood slowly. He wasn't panicking. He was listening. His eyes followed something none of us could see. His lips moved in tiny whispers, answering someone only he could hear. "Evan?" I whispered. He didn't look at me. He wrapped the recorder in his jacket. "Evan, stop," Clara cried, but he wasn't listening. He walked to the front door, and the locks all clicked open on their own. He stepped into the storm. By the time we chased after him, he was gone. His car still sat in the driveway. Only deep drag marks led into the woods. The police searched at sunrise. They found Evan's torn jacket caught on a fallen tree. Inside it, the recorder, still spinning, still blinking. Officer Rahim, who logged it, later said the reel began turning again around noon. Silent, slow, the static sounded layered, whispers buried under snow. He leaned closer and realized it wasn't noise, it was voices. 4 of them, Clara, Miles, me, and Evan. Rahim said Evan's voice was the clearest, like he was speaking right into the mic. Then came the line that made Rahim shove his chair back. A man's voice, soft, exhausted, pleading. "Stop recording." The static shifted, deepened, like something else leaned in. Rahim swears the air turned cold, and then, barely audible, "We haven't started yet." He slammed the evidence drawer shut. The recorder never stopped spinning. Not once.